Hi there, welcome back to another L&J Adventures video. I'm Liam.
I'm Jen.
And today we are bringing you an announcement video, a tip/planning video as well. But do you want to do the honours and tell our viewers where we are going next?
We are off to Walt Disney World and Universal Studios for this spooky season.
Yes, we're going away for 17 nights. It's a massive trip.
Really long one.
Very excited. Before we go on to some details about the trip itself, we are predominantly a Disney vlogging channel, but like anything to do with kind of theme parks, theatre, that kind of thing. So please do like and subscribe if that's your vibe and you want to see more. We did go to Walt Disney World, or Orlando generally, last spring, and we of course got engaged, didn't we?
We did, which is really special.
And since then we've done some individual videos and stuff like that. We have actually moved house recently, that's why we've been a little bit quiet on the video front.
Yeah, we're moving boxes around and life is wonderful and chaotic. So We're really looking forward to a Orlando trip.
But we've tried to kind of set up a little bit of a Disney background for you guys today.
We have a makeshift Disney background,
Makeshift Disney background, exactly. But so basically, like I say, yeah, it's a 17-night trip for spooky season, Walt Disney World and Universal. And we're going to bring you along for the ride. So if you do want to see and keep up to date with what we're doing out there and when our videos are out, then please do follow our social media. Instagram is @LiamJenAdventures and the same for TikTok as well. So yeah, the main thing to say about this trip as well is we're not alone, are we?
We are not going just the two of us. We have some family with us this time.
We do. So rather than just being two, we're a party of 7 this time. So joining us on this trip will be my mum, my stepdad, my sister, my brother-in-law, and my niece, who is going on her first ever holiday. So we're very excited to show you that. We'll obviously be showing you what it's like to go on a big family holiday and some of the planning that comes along with that. But this video is kind of going to be about how we booked the trip, some of the accommodation, the food, as is always important to us, accessibility as well. For those who don't know, Jenny does have a couple of disabilities, which can obviously change how we approach the parks and things like that. So Jenny will obviously talk a bit in detail about that as well. And we've also got some extra experiences to look forward to on this holiday as well.
Definitely.
And then at the end, we'll give you some tips on what you can pack for your Florida trip, because obviously packing is on our mind at the moment. So when better to kind of talk about that sort of thing. So hopefully this video will help you and give you some ideas for packing and ideas about how to book stuff for your upcoming trip. But of course, it's also an announcement video to let you know that we are going back to the magic. So we'll start, I guess, by talking about our accommodation and travel plans for this upcoming trip. First thing to mention is we are going to be staying at London Gatwick Airport the night before our flight. So we're staying at Sofitel London Gatwick, which is based at the North Terminal, I believe. Yes, North Terminal.
Yes, because we have to get the shuttle to the
first monorail of the holiday.
Yeah, I'm so excited. That is the first attraction of the holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, so that's from the south. We're flying from South Terminal.
Yes,
right?
We're flying from South Terminal. And just to give you an idea, that Sofitel, it cost £165 for the night. We booked that through booking.com. And we are planning to eat there that night as well. So hopefully in the vlog, we'll be able to show you a bit of a room tour, what the food's like, just our overall thoughts on whether it's a good airport hotel.
It looks nice from what we've seen. It looks better than the, was it the Premier Inn or the Travelodge we stayed in last time?
Yeah.
Was I saying that room was massive?
It was a massive room. It was just a bit far away, the Travelodge. If you check out our 2022 vlog, you'll see maybe what we mean. I don't know if we filmed much of the travel with that. But
I don't know if we did. We were quite new to this whole vlogging game,
weren't
we?
We were.
Little babies.
I'll mention that as well. Just heads up, if you did watch our old video or you want to go and check out our old vlogs, we were brand new. That was our first ever vlog series. We loved putting it together, but we've learned a lot since then. So hopefully this series will give you a bit more insight, a bit more detail, and some longer videos as well. But yeah, so it's anyway staying at the Sofitel in London Gatwick, and we are then flying with British Airways BA economy. And we will be flying into the brand new Terminal C at MCO Orlando Airport. So you excited for that?
I am, yeah. I'm kind of a little bit disappointed that I'm not going to have that nostalgia of seeing the flag and just that room you go into. I love the chaos and you're just so tired from getting off the plane and you're delirious with what's going on. So I'm low-key gonna miss that. But no, I'm excited from what I've seen online and like other vlogs and stuff we've watched of people. Looks really clean, looks like more organised, more efficient.
Sounds like the queues aren't going to be as big as
That's
like the
gonna help,
immigration
yeah.
queues and stuff like that. So that will help. We'll come on to some of the disability stuff later, but we are also going to be having the assistance for you and actually for my mum as well, who has recently been just recovering from an operation. So she's also going to be making use of some of the accessibility stuff, which we'll talk about. But then, we'll jet off to MCO, land at Terminal C, and then we've also booked the Mears Connect, which, for those of you who don't know what that is, that formerly used to be known as the Magic Express, which takes you to the Disney hotels. That cost $33 per couple for one way. We went one way because we're not coming back from Disney, as you'll later find out. So we just booked, like I said, the one way. That will pick us up from MCO, and that will take us to our first Disney hotel, which is...
We're gonna go back to Coronado Springs. We loved it so much in our family. They watched our vlog from last year, saw our photos, heard like all our good things we had to say about it. And it just worked really nicely with our plans. So we thought, why not go back to Coronado again?
We absolutely loved Coronado Springs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a moderate. So for those unfamiliar, Disney has value, moderate and deluxe hotels, and it falls into the moderate category. But probably the best value of the moderates, I'd say, for what you get.
Definitely, definitely.
I actually think most of the time it is the cheapest moderate, but I'd actually argue it's one of the best. I think with the food options, you've got, Three Bridges Bar and Grill, Toledo, Maya Grill, Rick's, the quick service. You've got a really big pool with the slide and stuff. Grandestino just makes it, or gives it the look of a deluxe resort. And I don't know if you'd agree with me, but I'd say beyond not having a balcony, it felt like a deluxe resort.
Yeah, absolutely. And we stayed in Casitas 2.
Yes, Casitas 2.
I want to say,
yeah. Well done.
And when we would exit, like where our block was, and we just came out, and there was like the jasmine right there and the fountain.
Oh, yeah, that was nice.
It was just so peaceful in the morning, and obviously because it's humid, and then you're smelling like the flowers, and it just was so nice.
So peaceful.
So yeah, we're really looking forward to going back with the chaos of all 7 of us this time.
Yes, exactly.
But
we're all
I think it'd
staying
be really
at
good.
Coronado Springs. We're staying there for 10 nights, as are my mum and stepdad. And the 4 of us will then be moving over to Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani Village for 1 night. We've hired some DVC points in order to do that. Whereas my sister, brother-in-law and niece, they will be staying at Coronado for the full duration of their trip for 14 nights. But we're going to be at Coronado Springs for 10 nights and then Animal Kingdom Lodge for 1 night. Just to let you know, we've booked a 2-bed Savannah View villa room. It was on the pricey side. For the 4 of us, it came to $987. Now, that sounds like a lot, but obviously that's divided by 2 couples. It's also in dollars rather than pounds. So,
and your mum has always dreamed of staying at Animal Kingdom. So when we knew we were going with her this time, we thought it was so special last year when we did it, and we were like, we'll just sneak it in there.
So for those who don't know, DVC Rentals, David's DVC Rentals are the company we use. They just allow you to basically rent points and stay at accommodation that you probably otherwise wouldn't be able to afford. So for example, on our engagement night last year, we were treated by my dad and stepmom to a night at Bay Lake Tower at the Contemporary Resort, which is incredible. But we also used it ourselves to spend 2 nights at Animal Kingdom Lodge. We probably wouldn't have gone back to Animal Kingdom Lodge this trip just for money reasons. But like I say, because we were going with my mum, it's always been a dream destination for her. We thought, you know what, we'll go out and we'll do 1 night there with the 2-bed villa. So we're planning on making the most of that, spending like a full day there as well, which should be really good.
It would be really nice having a coffee on the balcony in the morning.
Seeing the animals.
And get to see your mum enjoy the Savannah view and
Exactly.
stuff. So that's going to be really fun.
So stay tuned for that. Like I said, there's a 2-bed Savannah view. So I think we've got like the 2 rooms, and then in the middle we've got like a kind
like
of
the
communal
kitchen,
bit.
living room. It looks really fun. I'm really excited. We haven't done like a deluxe, 2-bed like
No, not that big.
The Contemporary, that was awesome.
That was an incredible
room.
Amazing. Yeah, that really was.
So it's really nice to get to see different types of deluxe DVC rooms. So yeah, really looking forward to doing that.
So that will take our stay at Disney to 11 nights, obviously, including the 10 nights at Coronado Springs. And where are we heading after that? As if I need to show you the notes.
I know, I'm looking down as if like, oh, am I sure? We're going to go back to Aventura. Again, like your stepdad really liked the look of that, didn't he?
Yes, absolutely. He's very keen on the Universal. Well, he's been to Universal. I've been with him before, and he loves Universal. So we said we'll stay on site at Universal because we loved that last time when we went.
Yeah.
You might be thinking, for those of you who follow this channel, they're going back to the same hotels as last time, but 2 reasons for that. One,
don't fix what's not broke.
Exactly. We absolutely loved it. We were tempted by some other resorts, but just we knew what we were getting with these ones and just really wanted to do them. We wanted to show family like where we'd been before as well. That was kind of the other reason. They saw the vlogs and liked the look of it. And as you say, don't fix what's broken. We have, as we always do, changed what we're doing a few times along the way, but we settled on this and we're really happy with it. Aventura Hotel is a prime value hotel at Universal. And you can get, it's walking distance to the parks. It's very close to Volcano Bay. Very close, wasn't it?
Very, very close.
You can also get the bus, or you can get the boat from the adjacent resort, which is Sapphire Falls. So, yeah, you looking forward to Aventura then?
I'm really looking forward to going back to Aventura. And there's a couple of things like we want to do this time. I think we were talking about having dinner in their quick service that they have downstairs there, because it's just so varied, the options. I also want a robot to bring me something to the room. We definitely, we missed out doing that last time. I've seen TikToks and things. So yeah, there's just a few things I want to repeat, or things we didn't do last time. And I had never stayed at Universal before, because I grew up going to Universal more than Disney. So yeah, it's so much fun to go.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like I say, we're staying at somewhere we stayed before, but if you looked at our vlogs last year, we maybe didn't go into as much detail with those resorts as we would have liked. This time we got the opportunity to do that, so we can show you the very best that there is to offer at Coronado Springs, Animal Kingdom Lodge and Aventura. We will hopefully, as everyone knows who plans an Orlando holiday, it's not always easy, but hopefully put aside some time to spend by the pool and have some chill time at these resorts as well, and show you exactly what they've got to offer. But that sums up our accommodation and travel. The only other thing to note is we did look at getting the Superstar shuttle from Universal back to the airport at the end of the trip, because we used that going to Universal last year.
We did. They were really good, weren't they?
It was brilliant. Yeah, really recommend it. Unfortunately, we learned that you can only do that if you book via Universal directly, which we did last year. But this year, we booked the Universal portion of our trip through attraction tickets. And we booked the Disney portion of our trip through Disney directly, because Disney had a deal, as they always do. Dining credit, Cirque du Soleil tickets, which we'll come on to in a bit, and also a gift card as well. So we've got that kind of all included in the Disney portion of the trip. And as I said, we booked through attraction tickets for Universal. So go and check them out. They're a great company, and I've used them in the past. Always really good. So quite good price-wise too. But that sums up the accommodation and travel part of our trip.
I just want to go now.
Me too. So now we're going to talk a bit about some of the extra experiences we've got planned for this trip.
I've already let one slip so far.
We did, exactly. So Jenny mentioned Cirque du Soleil. So as part of our Disney package, we've been given 2 free tickets for us to Cirque du Soleil. Obviously, all the other family members we're going with have also done that, because they booked through Disney Direct too. Cirque du Soleil is Drawn to Life. It's a show at Disney Springs, which is the shopping and dining district of Disney World. We saw this exact same show last year, didn't we?
We did, and it was really good. Yeah. So I'm excited to see it again, definitely.
Definitely. We really enjoyed it. It's a great night out. It's something a bit different. I think as well, we probably wouldn't have booked it ourselves this time, having seen it last year. But obviously the tickets are free, so we're of course going to go.
They're free, and everyone we're going with really wanted to see it. So, I mean, we'd get a real case of FOMO if we didn't go to 100%. See it again with them.
For anybody who else has booked that package that included Cirque du Soleil, it's a bit confusing about how you get the tickets, but basically what happened was a few weeks before your trip, you will get sent an email from Cirque du Soleil confirming that you've got your credit or whatever. You then go on, create an account, make sure you use your same email that you use when you signed up for your Disney package, and then you have the option when you come to checkout to apply credit. The credit you get covers like the basic seats, but we just went with that because we sat in the basic seats last year and they're absolutely fine.
Yeah, the way that the stage is, it's a circle right the way around it. So yeah, I don't think there's a bad seat in there unless you get someone really tall in front of you, but you're obviously not going to know that when you arrange your seats.
But you can, if you want to upgrade your seat, you just have to pay the difference obviously on top of the voucher. But yeah, so we use that. So that's the first thing to know. What's the big extra for this upcoming trip?
This one I'm really excited about is Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And we've already got our outfits planned, haven't we? So we'll keep them secret.
And you can probably see some of the Halloween hints in the background there. You've got the Sally ears, haven't you? But we're very excited by Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. It's something neither of us have done before. It's something a lot of people rave about. For those who don't know what it is, it's an extra ticketed event that happens at Magic Kingdom on select nights. typically starts around 7 p.m, but you can enter the park from 4 p.m, and it runs until about midnight or 1 a.m. usually. But basically, it's just a great opportunity to celebrate all things Halloween at the Disney park. What have we got as part of the Mickey's Not So Scary? What goes on in the park?
You've got the parade, you've got fireworks, trick-or-treating.
Trick-or-treating looks amazing.
That looks so much fun.
A lot of trick-or-treating spots around the park where you get given a bag and you can fill up with unlimited amounts of sweets. I think it's sponsored by Mars Wrigley or something, so there's a lot of chocolate involved. But yeah, we've basically got that book. So the Boo to You parade, as you mentioned, really excited for. A lot of exclusive character meets. So if you're a proper Disney diehard and you love the parks and that kind of thing, and you're a bit of a Halloween lover, then it sounds like the perfect event. So we are doing Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. We aren't actually going to be going to Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. I know that's something a lot of people also rave about.
We debated it, didn't we?
We did. We came very close to booking it. I think really we thought for the group of people we're going with, I don't think everyone was fully sold on the idea of doing that. As I say, it's just the four of us going to Universal actually in the latter part of the trip. And that's myself, Jenny, my mum and stepdad, my sister, brother-in-law and niece. They're actually just staying at Disney the whole time. But yeah, basically we thought that. We also saw some reviews that this year it's almost a bit redundant doing it without the express pass element, and then obviously that pushes the price up quite a bit. And for us, we're not huge horror fans, so we've decided on this trip anyway that we're not going to do it. Who knows, we might do it in future, but on this occasion it was Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, which was the priority for us, so
definitely
very excited for that. We won't go into too many details about the other extras, but just to list them, we've got we've actually booked a cabana, otherwise known as a beachcomber shack, at Disney's Typhoon Lagoon Water Park. So, like I say, by having such a large group of us, that actually worked out quite good value. So
it's going to be so good to have a base that we all just keep going back to.
Yeah.
It's shady for, little one and redhead.
Yeah, exactly. There's quite a few perks to it, aren't there? Which,
definitely, yeah.
We'll obviously show you in the vlog. Again, Typhoon Lagoon we didn't film too much of in our last vlog series, so we'll show you more of that. What else have we got? Some other extras that you can know? We
are going to the movie theatre in Disney Springs, so we're really excited to have
we'll reveal later what we're going to see there, but we're going to the AMC theatre in Disney Springs, which is really cool. We've also got express passes for one of our days at Universal. I know a lot of people say to book the sort of fancier resorts and get them that way, but we only wanted them for a day, so it worked out cheaper just to buy them separately. So we booked them for one day at Universal. We've also got the Fantasmic dining package at Hollywood Studios.
This is going to be really fun.
We'll talk about food in a moment and exactly what that means, but that basically is a select few restaurants you can book a meal at, and then you get priority or VIP seating for the Fantasmic fireworks show at Hollywood Studios, which you've not seen.
I haven't. I think there's maybe a vague memory somewhere back there when I was really, really young. But yeah, I get to pretty much experience it for the first time. And from the tiny snips I've seen, I'm very excited.
I love Fantasmic. You're in for a treat.
I'm really, really looking forward to it.
And then the only other thing to mention really is Epcot's Food and Wine Festival is on when we're there, which again, neither of us have ever done. I think I have been this time of year when I was very, very little, but I do not remember it. This is the first time actively remembering Disney that I'm going in the autumn and during spooky season. So
yeah, I've never been this time of year, and food and wine are like my two favourite things.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
This is going to go great.
Perfect. When we were there, it was Flower and Garden last time, which was also really cool. But we're excited for some food booths and
to see a different festival going on. Yeah.
And just to be in America during the fall. Sorry for that poor accent, but we're really excited to be there during spooky season. And then the only other thing I had noted down was that we might try and do the putt-putt golf at Universal, but we said that last time. I was gutted
we didn't do this last time, so it's a must for me this year.
But a lot of extras included in this trip to make our trip and the vlog hopefully even more special, and lots for you to keep an eye out for. So
definitely.
Like I say, please do join us along for the ride. So the next section we're going to talk about is one of our favourites. We're going to be talking about food for this upcoming trip. Now, little disclaimer here, you do not have to do a Disney or Universal trip the way we do when it comes to food.
We're foodies. It's something that is really important to us, and we don't eat like this at home every day. So we have the mindset when we're on holiday, we go all out.
And a lot of people will be happy to just kind of make use of the quick service, even use their own food or go to the supermarket, that kind of thing. We like to make use of the table services. We like to tick them off. We like to enjoy the different experiences. I also think it's really good to kind of break up a long park day.
Really helps pace your energy throughout the day. Get a nice bit of air conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
It works for the way we want to do it.
So I thought I'd let you know that just before I announce that we've got 14 table service reservations planned for Disney. and we've got 3 to 4 for Universal. I say that because the 4th is still yet to be booked. But like I say, we've got 14. We're not going to sit here and reel off every one we're doing. That's for you to see in the vlogs.
Aren't they?
Some are repeats, yeah. So some of them are ones that we did last year and we just loved. So some of those are
Boma,
Topolino's Terrace,
yeah,
Sonar. Trying to think of another one. We've got Hard Rock Cafe at Universal is a classic for us. We just have to do it every time. But then we've also got some new ones which we're really excited for. I'm most excited for Tiffin's, which we are going to be having. It's at Animal Kingdom. Really, really excited for that one. You? What ones are kind of springing out to you?
Hollywood and Vine.
Hollywood and Vine. So that's the restaurant we picked for the dining package.
Yeah, and we get to, obviously, it's a character meet and greet, and they're in their outfits, their spooky season outfits, so I'm really looking forward to meeting them all dressed up.
So that's like a buffet at Hollywood Studios, and it rotates throughout the year because it's like mini seasonal events. So I think they have like a spring fling or a summer one, and obviously we're there for Halloween, which is great. And like I said, I don't want to reel too many that we've got. We will also hopefully be going to Three Bridges Bar and Grill again, which was the restaurant at Coronado Springs on the water, which we love.
That was lovely.
We're not going to be returning to California Grill, where I proposed this trip, just because I don't think the bank could handle it, but also it's a very special place for us. But I just want to say I would highly recommend California Grill to anyone out there. It's an amazing restaurant.
Yeah.
But yeah, 14 at Disney, 3 to 4 at Universal. Just in terms of how we're funding this, one, we saved a lot, but also we will be benefiting from the Disney dining credit, as I said earlier in the video. So because we're there for 10 nights, we've got 10 nights worth of dining credit, which works out about $72 a night. So we've got $720 dining credit from Disney, which is really good. And then what else have we got for Universal?
We have some Mardi Gras gift cards. How did it work last time? You purchased so much on a gift card and they gave you additional? I can't remember the numbers exactly.
I can't remember. I believe it was basically spent about $240 on these cards and got $300 worth of food credit. This is a bit of a learning curve for us. We did use them last year, but it's still a little bit ambiguous as to where you can use them. To understanding, you can use them at any food booth or restaurant in Universal, Islands of Adventure, Volcano Bay or City Walk. But obviously, Universal also has some sort of chain restaurants like Hard Rock Cafe where they wouldn't accept it. But then places like Cinnabon would accept it.
That confused me.
Starbucks wouldn't.
The Cinnabon inside Islands of Adventure accepted it, but Starbucks inside Islands of Adventure didn't. So I don't know. I also
think you can't use it at the hotels as well. But
that would make sense. But again, we're not really too sure. But your dad was out there in Florida.
He managed to pick them up for us.
We kind of said, "Oh, do you mind getting us a couple?"
So that's how we've got them. They're Mardi Gras cards. So if you've got any Mardi Gras cards, don't be fooled into thinking you can only use them during the Mardi Gras festival on the food booths. You can actually use them all year round. They do not expire. And somewhere we've actually got one with a little bit of credit from our last trip. I have to try and find it.
I think it's got like $10 on it, but if we can find
every little helps.
Would be good.
We'll see whatever we can find. But anyway, food, like I say, this is how we do our trips. We like to really go all out and just show you everything we can. So hopefully we'll do. We've got some character dining, we've got some buffets, we've got some signature dining in there as well.
Family saw how we did it last year and they were like, oh my God, we didn't know you could eat so well in Disney. That's what we want this year.
That's exactly what we want to show you guys, that obviously if you just want to stick to the quick service and that's what your Disney is, then that's absolutely fine. I've had many holidays like that were fantastic. But also I just want people to be aware that there is more when it comes to food at Disney. And the majority of the meals will be all 7 of us, but there are a few meals where it'll just be the 4 of us as well. The boathouse, that's another one I'm really excited for.
Yes, the boathouse. I couldn't forget. Oh, how did I forget the boathouse?
But like I say, we're not going to reel them all off. Anyway, food, that's our plan for this upcoming trip.
So now I'm going to take lead and talk about the disability services. We have already got a video about DAS, it's called, in Florida.
Yes.
And we spoke about Disneyland Paris as well. But yeah, we've already gone into detail if you want to check that out. But that is something that we are doing again this year. There's 2 members of our party that qualify for DAS, myself and your sister. So that is going to really help us with our trip this year. And we did it through the pre-register service. So 30 days out from your first day of your tickets or your vacation package. We used a VPN and we went on through the website. You wait in a little bit of a queue, but then you actually get to chat on a video call with a cast member. You tell them your reasons why you think you would benefit from their disability service, and then they say, yes, you can have it, or no, or But yeah, I don't really know kind of.
So yeah, so the DAS service is really beneficial. It's worth noting it is not strictly for kind of like mobility conditions. Now, Jen, just to clear things up, Jennifer, I never call you Jennifer.
Oh, don't do that. That's my government name.
Jenny does. This is an important topic. No, so Jenny does have a physical condition, which we've got something for that as well in a second. We'll talk about. But she also has a couple of non-mobility related conditions, which can make it hard for her to queue.
Yeah, like things like temperature can be a real trigger for certain conditions and things I have. And yeah, just not being able to leave a queue quickly can also be difficult. So as long as you're open and honest with the cast member, they'll appropriately decide whether you do or don't have DAS. But yes, obviously I have like physical and non-physical disabilities, so that is something to be aware of. If it's purely a mobility reason, they tend to recommend either hiring a wheelchair or an ECV, an electric scooter, for your day in the parks. That is actually something I'm doing as well.
Yes.
But yeah, DAS is something I've already pre-registered for, and doing it 30 days in advance means you can pre-book 2 attractions for each day in the parks, up to 10 days. This was confusing because it was different last time.
Yeah, so it was the first 10 days of the trip essentially, or 10, like a block of 10 days we were allowed to book it for. That's our dog, having a little growl there.
She's having a little play. She's playing by herself at the moment, isn't she?
Yeah, she's doing well. But we've got, so the first 10 days of the trip, we've got a DAS, like the pre-book selection. So you're able to book 2 rides per day. You book that as kind of like a set hour slot. If you miss that hour slot, you've lost it. Whereas the DAS in the park itself works a bit like a virtual queue. So it's kind of open-ended. So you'll have a DAS for a ride, but you can go on it anytime later in that day.
And it doesn't expire. So say, so for some of the rides when you enter for DAS, when you're pre-registering, there's certain attractions you can't do it for. So the ones that you would buy an individual lightning lane, like Flight of Passage, for example. So when we have our first day at Animal Kingdom, I enter the park, and then through the DAS on the app, I can virtually enter a queue for Flight of Passage. And say that was like a 45-minute wait for our slot to then go through the lightning lane. If for whatever reason in 45 minutes time we were busy or doing something else, that allocated DAS doesn't expire.
Exactly.
Whereas our pre-booked ones, like you said, they're an hour slot.
Very good.
I'm getting to grips with
very
this,
good.
right?
It can be very complicated. Everything aspect of an Orlando or Disney holiday can be complicated, but you summed it up really well.
Thank you.
No, very good. But yeah, just the most important thing to note is with DAS, you're not skipping the queue. It's not a substitute for Genie Plus. It's basically for people who cannot queue the conventional way. And basically, rather than spend it, you still wait the same length of time, pretty much, give or take. But rather than spend that time waiting in a physical queue, you're able to maybe go off, have a sit down, go to the toilet, go and grab a drink, even ride another ride if it's a short queue, obviously. So that's kind of the way it works. And like I say, we used it last year. It was really good. We wouldn't have done half the stuff. You would just physically not be able to queue for certain lengths of time. So
it
it's really good. So just if you think that you might be eligible for that, there's no harm in just going and looking for it, speak to a cast member and see if you're able to get that. You do not have to do it pre-booked online with VPN if that's something that makes you a little bit anxious. You can just do it on the day in the park, go to guest services at the front of the park and they will sort you out. But you won't then be able to pre-book the rides, I don't believe. It's also worth noting Universal have a disability pass. You cannot arrange that until the day of your visit. And that's a little bit old school with a piece of card and a return time. For anyone who watched our Alton Towers vlog.
It's a bit like that.
Earlier this year, it's a bit like that, exactly. So we'll also show you how that works as best we can. And the other thing just on accessibility, disability to mention is an ECV. So again, any of you who've watched our previous vlogs, hopefully we've got some loyal subscribers watching out there. Previously in Disneyland Paris and in Disney last year, we used a wheelchair. Now, at Disney last year, that was fine because Jenny was able to walk a bit more than she is now.
Yeah.
In Disneyland Paris, obviously your mobility had kind of worsened a little bit before that trip, so we used the wheelchair for
time of year. It made a difference as well. It was in the winter, so that again
we used our own wheelchair on that occasion, and it was fine. But I did find myself obviously pushing it kind of continuously around the park for a few days in a row. I did struggle a little bit with that, and I did kind of make the informed decision. I thought I don't know if I'm going to be able. She really is going to town with that toy. But I did make the decision that I thought going for sort of 2 to 3 weeks in Florida, doing that every day was probably going to be too much for me in the heat as well. So we are going to be hiring an ECV, otherwise known as like a mobility scooter. This means that Jenny can have her freedom and can use it as much as she wants, can limit how much she's standing or walking, etc.
Yeah.
But also I'm not obviously having to push her all day. Gives us both a bit more freedom.
Definitely. I think it's going to be a lot better for us, for both of us. I mean, do you have both hands to vlog and to
exactly.
do whatever you want? And like you said, I can sit and rest as much as I need, definitely with, needs changing and stuff. So totally, I think this is going to be a really good arrangement. Your mum also has a scooter, doesn't she?
Yes, so she's going to be hiring. So that's what I was going to say. There's actually 3 ways you can do it. Obviously, if you've got your own ECV or mobility scooter, you can take that with you. Just make sure you let your airline know. You've also got the option of hiring one in the park itself. Now that works out, I think, about $50 per day at Disney, plus a $20 deposit, which we get back at the end of each day.
But it's to note, they don't have as many scooters as they do wheelchairs to hire. So say you wanted to have a late start, or you had a dining reservation in a resort and you didn't get to Magic Kingdom until 10:30, I don't think you'd get a scooter at all. They can put you on a wait list and let you know when one becomes available, but that's something to know if you are relying on one from the park that you're going to.
And the other thing to note is obviously you can't then take the scooter out of the park, so you can't use it in the line for the bus or line for the Skyliner. You can't also use it obviously back at your resort or if you were to go out anywhere else. So there's a third option, which is what we're doing, where you can hire from an external company. There's loads of them. There's one called Scooterbug, which is Disney's kind of go-to one. But based on reviews and stuff like that, we've gone for a company called Gold Mobility Scooters. They've come highly recommended from so many different people. So I'm expecting pretty good things from them. Apparently their customer service is great. To let you know just kind of how much this costs, obviously we're hiring the ECV for 16 days. We're planning to pick it up the morning of our first full day and then have it picked up, collected from our hotel on our final day of the trip. And for 16 days, for one scooter, it came to $328.50, and that's for the Pride Victory model, which is the biggest model of ECV. Expected life expectancy, expected kind of battery life for the day is about 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours.
I think that's the
but
better option
that's continuous
for us.
use as well. From what I've heard, it's very rare for these scooters to run out in the park. You also get a charging cable, so you can plug it in anywhere if you're eating or something like that anyway. But yeah, so we've hired through them. We've already paid up, obviously booked for it. They drop it at your hotel, your resort, if you're staying at a Disney resort. So we'll have it dropped for us at Coronado Springs.
I think they give you a little lesson how to
do
it, what buttons do what.
Exactly. Then throughout the trip, all Disney transportation is accessible via ECV with the buses, the Skyliner even. So that's going to be absolutely fine. Obviously, it does limit us in terms of being able to get things like Ubers. But when we transfer from Disney to Universal, we've booked a taxi through Mears themselves, and they have ECV accessible taxis. However, you can only fit one ECV per taxi, so we've had to book 2, because like I say, my mum is also hiring ECV as she recovers from surgery. So that's the plan for that anyway. And then also, we're getting it picked up, collected again by the same company from Aventura. So it's worth noting you can have it dropped and collected from 2 different points. So with DAS and the ECVs, we're hoping to make this holiday as accessible as we can for everyone. I always say there's few places in the world that are more accessible than Walt Disney World, than Universal. So hopefully that will prove to be the case in the video.
Yeah, definitely.
So just to finish this video then, we'll talk about 3 things each that we're most excited for this upcoming trip.
That's so hard. I'm excited for everything.
And then we'll give you some tips on some key things you should pack if you have got an upcoming Orlando trip. So firstly, 3 things we're most excited for. You go with your number 1. What are you most excited for?
Halloween party. It has to be Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party.
I would have put that in my list, but you stole it.
You knew I was going to put that on my list.
No, it's definitely something we're both really, really excited for, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just that's the reason really we're going this time of year. So
the whole experience, getting to dress up, getting to see like characters that you never see, like in parades and the fireworks, and very, very, very much looking forward to it. What about you?
So one of my things, seasonal thing as well, food and wine festival. Never done it before, heard great things. Lots of food, what's not to like? So I'm excited about that. What's another one of yours?
The Fantasmic dining package we have, Hollywood Vine, definitely. I'm really, really looking forward to, just a restaurant that I wouldn't have thought of before. Now Peggy's eating her food. She's so loud and leery today.
She just wants to be in the video.
She really does. Maybe we'll bring her in for the outro.
Yeah, maybe.
But no, to go to a restaurant that I hadn't really thought about. It sounds really good. The food, like the buffet options they have there.
Sounds like it's improved as well.
Yeah, definitely. But I love a character meet and greet. So to have that with a dining reservation, and then we get the fantastic the premium seating. Definitely, that's my number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. My number 2 is also food, and I've already mentioned it, but Tiffin's, the signature dining restaurant in Animal Kingdom. I already know what I'm having. That's how obsessed I am with this restaurant. I've never been there before, but I'm just so excited. I've seen a lot of vloggers go there before and rave about it. We've had family members obviously say how good it is as well.
Exactly.
So yeah, very much excited for Tiffin's. That's probably the dining reservation I am most excited for on this trip.
What about your number 3 then?
So my number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, the roller coaster at Epcot. So again, anyone who watched our vlog, we probably didn't explain it very well because we were new to vlogging at the time, but we were there about 1 week before it opened to general public, and I did actually go up to a cast member and ask if there was any way we could pre-ride it, but it was only available for I think it was certain club members at first and cast members, but everyone has said that it is maybe now the best ride at Walt Disney World, overtaking Rise of the Resistance, Flight of Passage. Obviously there's certain songs that you can listen to. I love the films. I'm just really excited by Guardians of the Galaxy. That uses a virtual queue, but you can also combine that with DAS, which we'll show you in the vlog when it comes to that, but really, really excited to ride Guardians of the Galaxy.
Again, for my number 3, it's got to be the Universal Express Pass day that we're going to have planned, that we get to do Islands and Universal Park.
Yes.
We absolutely smashed it last year, didn't we? How many attractions did we do in a day?
We did
13.
13 on our Express Pass day, I believe. And we did a few at night as well, which was great.
That was so cool, doing the Hulk at night. Definitely, that was just so fun to get to do all those Universal rides.
The Disability Pass at Universal was really good, but obviously with the Express Pass, you do that, it's even better. And obviously it's a paid for system. We're happy to pay for it because we get the Disability Pass on the other days. But it was really cool having the Express Pass. My biggest memory of that was with, sorry, this is yours and I'm overtaking.
No, you're fine.
With Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls, one of my favourite rides at Universal. It had like a 90-minute queue with the Express Pass unlimited on that occasion. We went on it twice in 20 minutes. Now, we've not gone for the unlimited option this time just because we didn't find we were really doing more than each ride more than once. So it felt like a bit of a waste.
We made ourselves do Dudley Do-Rights twice because we thought, oh, well, we have paid for the unlimited one. We should really make use of it. But that was really fun at that time.
There's so many attractions at Universal, we don't really have time to do them twice. But they are the 3 things that we're both looking forward to the most. As you can tell from this video, we're very excited about all aspects of this holiday. Really excited to be doing it with other family members as well. A bigger group of us should add a whole different dynamic to the trip. It's not just a couples trip this time. So yeah, really excited to show you. Obviously, we've got a youngster on this trip, so
we have. It'll be so nice to see her with her first time seeing the castle and everything.
Exactly. So that's everything we're excited for. And just to finish, some packing tips, things that we've noted that we found useful or are taking this time that you might want to consider for your upcoming trip. So what can you think of?
Okay, so last year, every resort except for Animal Kingdom, it was hard floor. There's no carpet, there's no rugs in the room. It is hard floor. So when you're walking around the parks each day, your whatever day, whatever you're doing, your feet are so sore by the end of the day. So slippers. I am packing some slippers for the room. Obviously your feet are still going to hurt, but you don't want to take your trainers off and you're having to walk like this on a hard floor. So slippers is my number 1. I definitely can't go without this year.
On that same note, cushioned plasters cushioned plasters are good as well because you're likely to get blisters. I mean, Jenny didn't even walk that much on our last trip and got blisters. Yeah. So, and even you won't even be walking that much at all this trip, but we'll still probably have them just from kind of walking between.
It's in the air in Orlando.
It is. So I found them really good as well. So cushioned plasters is a good one for your blisters. And on that note, you've also mentioned or written down first aid kit.
Yeah, obviously for someone who has a lot of kind of medical bits to be aware of, I have a first aid kit. I put all my meds, all my equipment, joint supports, anything I'm going to need when I'm out there. Bug spray as well. I don't get bitten as much in Florida as I do in Suffolk, but it's still something to definitely be aware of. Hay fever tablets as well. I suffered so badly with hay fever last year. So yeah, any kind of meds,
you did, yes.
Anything you're gonna need, even stuff I'm not intending to be ill with, I'm still packing meds for. So yeah, they do have first aid within all the parks, and I'm sure reception of your resorts are gonna have bits and bobs that you're gonna need. But yeah, I like to be prepared. You can never be too
Yeah.
prepared for things like that.
Bug spray is especially important if you're staying somewhere like Coronado Springs, because obviously the water, you find a lot of the mozzies and things like that are obviously around that area. So when you're walking past the lake, sort of the water at night, going back to your room, that's when they're out. So that's a good time to have it. Another one I'd mentioned is packing cubes. So when you're packing your case, just a way to kind of prioritize space. So you've got space for all those merchandise and all those popcorn buckets when you come back. Packing cubes is a really good way to kind of, keep on top of that. So we've got some of those as well. Another one, just to rattle through them quickly, we've got the electric fan, which is really good. It's very hot, obviously.
Yeah, that's really good. From Amazon, we got that one, didn't we?
Refillable water bottle. Don't get, drawn into buying water in the parks. It's so expensive. Just use the water fountain or go to a quick service and ask for a cup of ice water. Water shoes, the ones that you can wear in water parks.
Yeah, we
protect your
bought a
feet.
pair when we were in Typhoon Lagoon or
Yes.
Volcano Bay.
Typhoon Lagoon,
Yeah.
Typhoon Lagoon, and they were really expensive. They're in the park, but really good to make sure you got some of them beforehand to stop your feet from burning.
Yeah, they were great.
And last one I've got is just prepaid cards. So things like Monzo, Starling, Chase. If you can, make that your primary source of funds for a Florida holiday, because obviously it doesn't charge the foreign transaction fees, which is a really big bonus.
Well, my last one I've written down is not something that you can pack in the UK or wherever you are going to Disney or Universal, but buy one of their refillable cups. We definitely made really good use of the ones for the Disney resorts, and then the one within Universal Park itself. That was really good, wasn't it? The
Brilliant,
freestyle machine ones.
We'll show you that. Yeah, that's really good. So we got one between us and that worked brilliantly. But yeah, there's some of our top packing tips for things you can take.
Definitely,
to,
some of our
to Orlando.
essentials.
So that's everything. Like I say, this was just a bit of an announcement, planning, packing video, just to give you an idea of our upcoming trip, what you can expect from it. To follow along, please do follow us on Instagram, as I said, at Liam Jen Adventures, and also on TikTok. Subscribe to our channel so you get notified for all of our future videos and vlogs. And all that's left to say
is thank you so much and see you soon.
See you in Florida. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.
Loving this moment, can we stay here forever?